Hey guys, it's me, Sharice from Party Trail Crafts, and I'm here today to kind of go over some questions that I've been getting about the file. I've had quite a few questions about resizing them, editing them, ways to add the names, and um, I want to go over a few different ways that you can go about doing that once you've purchased the file. So, when you purchase the file, you'll get two zip files, which will have the two the dinosaur and the conversation heart are in one zip file without the name. You just need to add the name, and then you have the Happy Valentines with the bow and the disco one that you'll get as well. You also get a PDF and that goes to Canva and to YouTube. You can click on those links and I will show you how to do that as well. So um, you'll go through the process of purchasing and you'll get the instant download. And when you download, let's look at what we get. So we get this PDF is part of it. And like I said, when you open it, it opens up like this where you get a link to YouTube. You click here, this will send you, click here, this one opens up Canva. So we'll talk about Canva first and then we'll get into some other ways. So when you open this up in Canva, it opens up like this. If you have the paid version, you can just go ahead and add the name using the text, add a text box here. If you do not have the paid version, some of these elements will have a watermark over it, like this bow will have a watermark that you can't use it. So what you would have to do is go into elements, say you want to replace it, with a bow, you type in bow, you want to do see all, and we are going to filter this to free. And then we'll go over here, we'll select one of these free bows that we have here that you think, fits this style or any of them that you like. So like you could replace this bow. So some things that I've had questions about is removing this box here because your box is a different size. All you do is just delete the box from there and you have it like so. The next question that I've been getting a lot is how to resize these. So if we are going to resize them, if you have the pro version of Canva, once again, this is the only way you can do it within Canva. This way, you would go to resize, and let's say you wanted it at 8.5 by 11. I already have it here because I used it previously, or you can do custom size and change your size here to any other size that you may want. So let's do 8.5 by 11 and let's open it. And open. And now these will open up as an 8.5 by 11. You will also need to change the size of your box here depending on what size container you're using. So they'll come in as a 5 by 5 for the 8.5 by 11, or they will be a different size for if you do 11.5 or 11 by 14 or 11 by 17. So you'll need to resize that or just delete the box altogether like before. So that's how you can resize using Canva. If, let's say, you don't have Canva Pro and you want to resize it. Now, what we'll have to do next is we have to start a whole new design, and we'll create one from scratch using the files that you also get in your download. So let's create a design. Okay, there we go. Let's do an upload file, and then it's going to bring you to the files. I have them here, so let's do the bow one. And now that I have this here, we'll use this in a design, custom size, and let's say we want it to be 11 by 17, and we're going to create a new design. So that's how, if you do not have the pro version, that's how you'll have to do it. The only problem is these have this box on here already. So that box you can no longer take away. So what I would do is go from this design. Once you're in it, if say you don't have Canva Pro, you can delete this. Now save this one in your downloads. You can do it as a PNG and download it, and now bring it back into Canva the same way that we just did this one. And that way you can edit this without the box here, and then you could add the name and you can download it again and print it or whatever. Now the next question is, let's say we already downloaded it and we need to just print it. So let's go here, let's open up, let's do this one again, and since we have this one open, now we have a few options to print. So we're gonna print, let's say this is now showed to print on the 8.5 by 11 sheet, and that's the letter size. We want to change to whatever medium we're using. So I'm use photo glossy paper, and we want to do this borderless. So borderless printing on, and click OK. And that will remove this border. It is a little off because this is not ideal for 8.5 by 11, but this is a way that you can print it 8.5 by 11 through your print settings. Say you want to do 11 by 17, same concept. It's ready. It's already borderless because we had changed it previously, and this is what it will look like if it printed. And then you could just print from here on your printer. Okay, so those are a few ways to print larger. Now let's say we still don't like the way that it just, it was cutting off some of the design, and we don't like that. My next option I like to print is Silhouette Design Studio. Now I already had these brought in and sized because I was playing around with it earlier. It would be the same concept, as downloading, editing the files, downloading them to your software or to your computer, and then you could remove the white or the pink box in this case, and have it and size it to your size that you want. You can add the name. This one I've already added the name and grouped it to it, so I'm going to remove that. So this is where we could change this to 11 by 17, or let's say we wanted 11 by 14, and we could print it that way. Then add in our name, and I just grouped this earlier so that it wouldn't move whenever I move this. But the only way you can change the size of this right now is if it was ungrouped, and then you can change the size of it and then add or group that name. So now let's say we have this size and we want to print 2 per page, because that's also another question that I've been getting. How can I print 2 on one sheet? Now within Silhouette Studio, you have to change your page setup to whatever size paper you're using. So I was on 11.5 or 11 by 17, so I had it on that. I'm going to move it back down to 8.5 by 11. Click OK, and now you see it shrunk back down. And we can duplicate this by doing Control C, Control V on Windows, and it is Command C, Command V on Mac. So now that I have two, I can print this just as is by clicking print and going through the steps same way we did previously, except for we don't need to do borderless because this is a little bit smaller, but we still want to go through the preferences, picking our tray that our paper's in, our size, the style of the paper, the type, and then also you can change however many of them you need. And then you could print using Silhouette Studio this way. The other ways that I was showing you with just printing, you would not be able to print unless you know how to print 2 per page and figure that out. I haven't done it, so I'm sure there's a way. Like, I know there is the option. Like if I changed it to 5 by 7, and then there should be per page, but I haven't done this, so I don't even know if it'll work. But there is the option. See, it's not showing on here, and maybe I just don't know how to do it. But if you can figure it out, you possibly could get 2 per page doing it that way through just your downloads. But this is how I did it through Silhouette Studio. You do not need the paid version of Silhouette Business to do this either, because you're not downloading this onto your computer. You're just printing. So you would just simply press the print button. You wouldn't be able to download this file on your computer as is, but you could print and do everything else within Silhouette Studio. So those are the options for resizing and printing within Silhouette. Now, we also have Cricut. I do not recommend doing this in Cricut because of the print restrictions with Cricut, but you can do it. Let's say we had our 5 by 7. We needed to add our name. I already flattened this, so let's unflatten it. So, we have our name. We change the color of it, and we change the font of how we would like for it to look. So once we have that, we just need to group these together by clicking the flatten button here, and now it's ready to print. Like I said, with the restrictions, the largest you can print within Cricut is like a little bit over 9 inches by 13 inches. So you have to keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to do the 11.5 or I keep saying 11.5, sorry, 11 by 17 or 11 by 14. You can't print that big within Cricut. But you could do this, but you also can't do 2 per sheet. So not on the 8.5 by 11. You're only going to get the 1 because it can't fit 2 within the restrictions there either. So I don't recommend it in Cricut, but there is a way that you can do it if that's your only option. Now, lastly, the next one I would do, if you don't have Cricut, you don't have Silhouette, and you're just wanting to do a little bit more stuff than what you're able to do within Canva or your regular print, you could get Word and upload your file into Word by clicking Insert, Pictures, and then Pictures from this device, because we have them downloaded on this computer. And let's see, let's go back to the cards. Let's insert it, and now we have it here where we can edit it. Let me zoom in. Okay, so this will not let you move it all over the page yet. But what you can do is you can click the layout options, and I just click the one move behind text, and then it allows you to rotate it. It allows you to now move this all over the screen. So if you wanted to print 2 per sheet, you would just copy and paste with Control C, Command C, Control V, Command V. And now we have to where we have 2 per page, but we don't have our name, so let's add our name. We'll go to Insert. Once again, we'll do text box. The text box will pop up. We'll do simple, and then we can do our from Carrie again. And now this has this white box. It's very tiny, so we need to edit it. We are going to remove the fill, so no fill, and then shape outline. We also want no outline. Unless you do want those, then you can leave it. I don't want them, so I'm going to take them off. Let's go back to the home, and let's resize our text to, let's say 25, and let's change the text to this one. All right, now we can rotate this. If you want to rotate it without it, going all kinds of crooked, hold down your shift button and it will give you a perfect 90-degree turn. And now, same thing here. You want to move this so that you can move it freely within this design. Oh, let's see. And we'll move it here. And now you can change the color or whatever. Now you cannot copy and paste, or I don't know how, maybe you can, but for me, I had to create another text box and make another one the same way as this one. I don't know why. Oh yeah, there it goes. So you just have to be careful where you click. So if you click and you have it like this, it's going to copy and paste inside of there. But if you are with your little 4 triangle or arrows, then you can copy and paste and drag the other one down here. Okay, so now this is ready to print, and you just go to File, Print, same way that we've talked about, changing your preferences and everything here. So now let's go back. Let's say we needed this printed on 11 by 17. We can change that there and get us a 11 by 17 sheet here, or we could change this by trying to remember which one. Oh, going to Layout, Page Setup, and click the little arrow here, and then this is where you can go to Paper and change the size of your paper here if it wasn't already changed the same way that we did previously. So now that we have this at our 11 by 17, and let's say we don't need this, and we don't need this, and we just want to print this one in a larger print. Let's straighten it, hold down our shift key, and make it bigger. Just like before, this one already is the one I had downloaded, so it has the box here, but if you deleted it in Canva previously, and it's not there, then you won't have to worry about matching your size to your box, or your container that you're filling. Now this is small again, so let's go back. You just change the size. Let's do 65, and we'll stretch it out. All right, and there we go. So now you have this ready to print. It's not printing perfectly on the 11 by 17 because of the paper size, or the print size just doesn't match up, but you could have changed that in Canva to make it look more proportioned, or you can cut this off. You can also drag this if it doesn't distort your image too much from what you're looking for. You know, if you get too stretched out, then it looks weird, but I think stretching it here is fine. It didn't make that much of a difference. All right, now we're just going to do the same thing we did previously, do our print. Now we still have this white border around, and we should be able to remove those borders by clicking borderless printing. Okay, and then now that should do a borderless print for you. It did not show here, but hopefully it still would print that way. I have not printed this way, so I'm not really sure, but that's how you could, or you may have to just trim away the tiny little bit of the paper there. Which you'll have to trim away anyways with your poster board, so you could do it at that time. But I hope that this was helpful on a few different ways to be able to resize and to edit these, and then to be able to print 2 per page. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know. I will be happy to answer them.